Hi, my name is Alicia Falk-Horton, and welcome to Alicia's Ample Kitchen, where I like to take recipes and make them gluten-free. Today I have a special treat. We've been doing the 12 Days of Christmas cookies, gluten-free of course, and I'm going to be making my Grandma Mary Rivard's no-bake cookies. They are famous in our family, and it's one of my favorite things to make, especially now that I know how to make them gluten-free. So I'm starting with some butter, about half a cup of butter. Okay, I'm going to add my sugar. I'm going to add my cocoa. I'm going to add some milk. And that's right, we're pouring it all in, and just a pinch of salt. Then I'm going to take my scraper and mix everything together. Now, here is the secret. I don't stop stirring. I stir, stir, stir all the way until this comes up to a boil. And the reason I want it to come up to a boil is because it's going to bring those sugars down from the top here and make sure that everything is dissolved and combined. So we're cooking high right now, high heat, getting this all together. So what types of things could we watch out for as far as gluten goes? Well, the cocoa, you definitely want to make sure your cocoa is gluten-free. I also do a dark chocolate cocoa now because of our lactose problem. So as long as I get a dark chocolate, I don't have to worry about the milk. I use a lactose-free milk. Sugar, as long as it's regular granulated sugar that doesn't share lines with anything else, you don't really have to worry about that. Same thing with the salt. So the next big thing would be the peanut butter, which most of the time, most companies are gluten-free, but always watch for that label. Jif definitely is. And then the oats, okay, which we're going to finish off with once we get our mixture here boiling and everything. So let me show you the oats. Let's see if I can do two things at once here, guys. This is impressive for me, okay? So these are the oats that I like to use. Now, they make a regular oat and a quick cooking oat. You're going to want to get the quick cooking oats, okay? So make sure you get the quick cooking oats, and it's got the symbol up there for gluten-free, so we're good to go. These already smell so good. I love these. Now, I know lots of different people use different recipes for this. They might add more butter or some vanilla or not use peanut butter. Like, I'd love to know if this is a cookie that you make in your house often and what your recipe looks like. And as always, if you would like my grandma's recipe, I will share it today just for you guys because you're my favorite people on the internet. So if you want to comment recipe below, I will share my grandma's recipe with you, okay? All right, so we're going to keep on stirring, really wanting to get this to boil. I love these scrapers. They're nice and silicone on the end. I've had this one forever, and you would never know it. Plus, you can see it sliding right off of there, so you're not getting all the sticking and all the problem of the mess later, right? Now, this pan might be another story because this pan is not a gluten-free, not a Pampered Chef pan, so I might have some sticking problems later, but hey, I gotta take what I can get. I gotta use what I have. You know what I mean? So we are getting there. It's starting to kind of rumble up to a boil on the sides. I just love these. I've been having so much fun making the cookie recipes for everybody. I hope you've been following along on my 12 Days of Christmas cookies adventure that we've been on. My family sure has loved this little challenge I gave myself because there has been a lot of treats in this house, let me tell you. All right, now we're really starting to bubble up. Maybe you guys can hear it. Can you see it? I'm going to bring you down just a little bit so you can see. See how it's bubbling up there? That's exactly what we want. So now we're going to count down a minute from that bubble up point, okay? And once we hit a minute, then I'm ready to go to finish these cookies off. That's my little trick as soon as it starts to boil up like that. So I'm watching my clock on my oven right now. And once we hit a minute, we're going to shut it down and add our other stuff, okay? Close. We're getting close. Now it's really, really boiling. Don't stop stirring because that's when you're going to get that burning and it makes the taste like ugh. All right, there is my minute. Now you can remove completely from heat if you have to. In my case, I can just shut it off and we're good to go. So next I'm going to add my peanut butter. I love, love, love it putting the peanut butter in our measure-alls because look at how easy that just came out, right? It doesn't get any easier than that. Now I'm going to stir in my peanut butter, make sure it's all melted. We use a lot of peanut butter in our recipe, a lot. So they're very peanut buttery, very chocolate peanut butter. I love it that way. I wouldn't want it any other way. I don't like to add the vanilla to it. I would much rather it just taste like chocolate and peanut butter. Who's with me? Somebody out there has to be. All right, so we're going to keep stirring, keep stirring. Our arms are getting a workout for this recipe, guys. Now our peanut butter is starting to melt real nice. We don't want any clumps. We want everything to be nice and smooth. No clumpy peanut butter. I have attempted to make these with chunky peanut butter before. I do like it. It gives it a different taste for sure because you've got the peanuts inside. But it was a fun little twist. I had fun with it. But I just want classic Grandma Mary recipe, and that's what this is. This makes me nostalgic, especially this time of year. She was one of the first people who taught me how to cook. And the funny thing is when I was younger, I never paid attention. I never took advantage of the time that I had with them to learn more about cooking and baking. I was actually much into adulthood by the time I decided that this was actually fun and something I wanted to do. So I kind of wish I would have taken more advantage of that, but I'm very grateful that my daughters like to be in the kitchen with me and I get to kind of pass down some family secrets to them. So it's fun. All right, so we're all mixed. It's looking nice and creamy. I'm going to take my silicone bowl here that has my oats in it, and I'm not going to dump them all at once. I'm going to do about half, okay? So that's about half. And then I'm going to start stirring it in. It just makes it easier to get a nice coating if you do just half first, okay? So we're going to start with that half, get all of it nice and coated. There we go. Now I'm going to add my other half. So it's about 3 cups, okay? That's how much I use. You could always add more, add less, whatever desire you have. But I use right around 3 cups. Now we're going to coat these nice and evenly with our mixture. It always gets a little bit harder to stir, right, as we add more oats to it. There, oh, these are looking so good. I can't wait to have these. They're going to be so good. All right, that's looking pretty darn good. See it? Okay, so now I'm going to move you guys over. Sometimes I like to show you guys the full recipe. It doesn't always happen. Usually you got to head on over to the VIP group to get the full thing, but I'm actually going to show you the whole recipe this time, okay? So I have some parchment paper laid out. I'm going to kind of move my stuff here. Don't mind me. Okay, I'm going to set this down. Hopefully you guys can see okay. I think so. All right. So I have a piece of parchment paper laid down. I have my scoop. Okay. So I'm going to take my scoop and I'm going to dollop them onto my parchment paper. They're going to cool and then be ready to go. I remember making these for my dad. And which it's his mom who this is the recipe. I remember making these and he would be impatient when we were growing up and he would just say, oh, just put it in a bowl and start eating it while it cools down. So we would literally eat it and I would be like, this is like no bake soup. That's really what it was. So that's just another fun little memory. Isn't this time of year so fun for that? Just different memories. So I'm going to dollop these. This is going to make a decent amount of cookies. But I love using the scoops. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Like this isn't like sometimes when I use the scoop, I want it to be exact, leveled right off. In this case, I just want it to be an easy way for me to get them out quickly before they start to cool and harden. So it doesn't have to take too much of a science here for this. drop some. Get in there. I'm going to plop that one there. I'm going to have room here in a minute because I'm sure my kids already are smelling these and they're going to be running in here very shortly to have some. So there we go. There is Grandma Mary's recipe. Let me give you a closer up view, maybe if I can make the camera work. There they are. So that is my Grandma Mary's no-bake cookie recipe. I hope you enjoyed it. I will still be going live over in the VIP group with a special code. If you're interested in a discount, head on over to the VIP group. I hope you had fun with this 12 Days of Christmas cookie challenge I gave myself, and have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you over wherever you are on the internet. All right? See ya.